Do you know what zone you live in? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Well, let me explain. I'm talking about the USDA plant hardiness zones, which is a useful tool when it comes to gardening, but it's not the end-all be-all resource for what will grow in your area. So you can look up these maps and you can find where you are, and it's going to tell you what growing zone you're in. It might be zone 7, zone 4, zone 10, whatever it is. But all that's going to tell you is the average minimum winter temperature for your area. It does not take into account extreme temperature swings, such as if you have a really severe winter weather event where it gets abnormally cold. It also doesn't mention anything about what type of soil you might have, how hot it gets in the summer, what elevation you're at, or how much rainfall you might get in your area. And that's why sometimes customers will come into the store and they'll ask for a plant and they'll say, hey, this plant grows in our zone. Do you carry it? And we might say, no, we don't, because just because it works for our USDA hardiness zone doesn't mean that it likes our soil type or our local weather that we have here. Firstly, there are plants that will grow really well in your area that aren't technically for your zone. And primarily I'm talking about things like annuals, which are going to be usually tropical plants that are going to be flowering. And they might say that they're a zone 10 through 12 plant, and you might live in zone 4 or 5. And so even though that plant is way outside of your growing zone, because you're growing it as an annual, just for spring, summer, and fall, that plant's going to work just fine for you in that regard. So it's important for you to know what zone you live in, but it's also important for you to talk with your local garden center and find out what plants are going to be most successful in your area.